What's up, Ramley? You are now in the kitchen with Chef Nixon for all your fixes for the VCU men's basketball team. Uh, what a great game we had Saturday. Two competitive teams, uh, two teams that are going to be very competitive in their league. Both teams are experienced. Campbell a little bit more experienced than us, but yeah, Campbell visited VCU this Saturday, and Campbell came in on a four-game win streak. Man, they looked really good in film. I see they have a lot of similarities to Richmond, even Davidson that we're going to play later. Campbell's a veteran team. They have a pretty good chance of winning their league coming up, and they're led by what's the kid's name? Ricky Clemens and Cedric Henderson Jr. VCU, of course, we're coming in off a tough loss to UConn in a game that we should have won. The game we should have won in Bahamas, and also we're trying to avoid a two-game home losing streak. They they seem to be struggling when they come home. I don't know if that's a lot of guys aren't used to playing in front of everybody like this. I mean, some of the returning guys, you think about it, probably have to readjust after playing last year with nobody in the gym. What was it, like 200 people? It's a big adjustment, and especially for the freshmen who never experienced anything like this before, or maybe they have, but maybe not on this level. So maybe they just had jitters and they just have to get it worked out. But so VCU's coming in being led by Vince and Jaden Nunn, but Levi Stocker down in Bahamas. If he can continue to play the way he is playing, he's definitely going to be one of our more consistent players, of course, and probably our number one or number two option moving forward because he seems to be doing a lot of good things from out of the post. So raise your hand if you were nervous as hell when the game started. I mean, 20-6 is not what Coach Rose had in mind starting out the game Saturday after losing a close one like that to UConn. You expect the team to be fired up and ready to go, but that's not necessarily how they came out. And maybe it was just because you look at Campbell, you don't really think UConn. You know what I mean? I just play UConn. Now I got to play Campbell. Just off hearing that, you wouldn't think the game would be as competitive as it really should be. But maybe that was it. And then, Campbell comes in like thinking with a chip on her shoulder, we're Campbell. This is VCU. They're getting known. We're pretty popular around the nation now. So they came in and they punched us in the mouth. And yeah, I was really nervous. They had the guy Carolero, number 20. Oh man, he was a beast, giving it to us any way we wanted it. I mean, post moves, like he looks like a pro. He looked like a pro, and he's from overseas. I think he's from overseas somewhere, so he probably has played pro. But he was doing everything, running their show. Some of the passes he had throughout this game had me really sit back, like wow. Like even on the backdoor passes, I know we've seen a lot of guys backdoor pass because we play Richmond almost every year now. So we see guys, and that's actually a run where they have a lot of backdoor come-togethers. So we've seen it, but I haven't seen anybody fit that system more than Carolero did Saturday. I mean, he's throwing the passes of dimes right behind someone's back, right behind the defender's back for an easy layup. Like he just controlled everything. We hit a big shot, he come down, knock a shot down. he really carried them. He really carried them throughout the game. Um, but I got to give Levi Stocker some credit because Levi was really making him work on the other end. And I think when you're playing players like Carolero or any guy that's like really good, for example, Steph Curry, you never want to have Steph Curry be allowed to rest on defense, right? Um, because you know he's such an offensive threat that you kind of want to wear him down on both ends. So I think Levi Stocker did a good job of that by just fighting with him down there in the post and getting around him and posting up strong, making him work. Because really, there's nobody on their team that could truly guard Levi. They had the what's the kid's name? Let's see if I can find it. Stajic, number 10. I think I said that right. Stajcic. Stajic. I don't know. But yeah, he was a pretty good defender. He's a big, strong kid. But outside of that, they really had no answer for Levi. I think sometimes we get away from going to him. And mind you, I can only say this because it's been the last 4 games. I haven't seen Levi play this well since he's been wearing the VCU jersey. But if he's going to continue to play like this, then I think he should get a little bit more touches. I know I say Jaden Nunn should too, but if they can work it through Levi, I think everybody will get more, easier shots. And I think with the Jaden Nunn situation, we just weren't scoring. So we need to put the ball in somebody's hands who could score. But now that we have Levi playing at this level, it makes it easier for everybody. Let's see. And and I also want to talk about like Vince. And I know I got to reiterate how tough it was on Vince earlier this year. But Vince has really stepped up. And I mean, Saturday was like unbelievable. Like I always say, Vince does stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. But now this game, he showed up and he was in the stat sheet in almost every category. I think he led in almost every category. The guy played absolutely not perfect, but damn near probably up until the end. I mean, I think he played a really, really good game. He played a really, really good game. I've always been impressed by Vince's game and how he can impact the game in so many different ways. But to see it him like that was like a all put together game right there, and it was amazing. It was amazing to watch. And another thing about this game is our defensive capabilities are like really crazy. It's really not a fluke that we're top 2. We're not top 2 in the nation. Sometimes you think, oh, it's just VCU. Just for casual people. Oh, it's just VCU. You don't really think about us leading something in the nation or being top 2 in the nation, something like that. But it's no fluke. Our defense is for real. I mean, it's for real. Campbell is one of the teams that run their offense really, really well. And the only reason we were able to even get back in the game is because we stepped the defense up. We had them running their offense so far out from where they wanted to be. All the easy passes weren't as easy. Hands in the way, balls getting tipped, not losing track of the shot clock, having to shoot bombs just out of desperation. It's for real, man. And it's not just like one player or this player. It's literally everybody's out there working like on a string. And it's so dope to see. It is so dope to see. As a VCU fan, 1, as a former VCU player, 2, and as a former VCU player who loves defense, 3, it's amazing to see these young cats compete the way they are on the defensive end. Amazing. I give them much, much props. I wish our defense was as good as theirs. Their half court defense, I wish it was. one time for them. I'm not going to poo-poo it. I mean, even let's look back when Briante was playing. Briante covered up a lot of mistakes because Briante was such a special player with his athleticism and his length and his quickness. Um, he covered up a lot of stuff for that team that a lot of mistakes they had. This team here is just this team here really gets after it. I mean, I haven't seen, and if if I'm lying, somebody please let me know. But this team here, their defense is like this. I think this is the best I've seen. I think it's the best I've seen. And if I'm wrong, I'm willing to be wrong, but it doesn't seem that way. This is the best I've seen. And I hope they continue. I hope they don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. And for those who don't know what drinking the Kool-Aid is, listening to talk once you start doing well, and getting away from what got you there. You know. So I hope they don't drink the Kool-Aid, but I got to give them their props. They are the best defensive VCU team I've seen. I might be wrong, but I might be right. So another thing, Campbell did a great job of sticking in his game. There was a point in time where I felt like we had a chance to pull off from them, but Campbell just they took advantage of our mistakes and they played calm basketball, and they stayed in there. They stayed right there. They never gave up. All they kept doing was fight, and that's part of them being resilient and a resilient veteran team. You never seen 1 ounce of doubt or give up in them. They just kept fighting. But part of that was because VCU bad decision making. A lot of times we had a chance to really open it up on them in their backs against the rope. Now, mind you, I'm not taking anything away from Campbell. They stayed strong and they stayed together and they made the right play and they fought. However, I feel as if VCU just loses focus. Maybe because they're not used to being nervous by this much. I don't know, but they lost focus, and it almost came back to bite them in the behind. So Jaden Nunn, I think it's my first time really mentioning this episode. I love the kid. He has the ability to score. He's still young. He has a lot of room to grow. But he has to do something about this late game turnover situation with him and not being able to secure the ball and make the right play in the games. That's something that he's going to have to constantly work on. I hope it's not something that's just in his DNA as a player. And I think it's just something that he just has to adjust to the college level of it. Because this is about 2 games. It's about 2 games now that I've seen that, and I don't like that trend. And hopefully he can get himself out of that because he's such a good player, and he's only going to get so much better. I just don't want that to be a hindrance on him or have that cloud over him. So Jaden Nunn, I wish you the best with that. Continue to work on that. Learn how to calm yourself at times. Because down the stretch we had like 3 or 4 turnovers that all we had to do is just be tougher with the ball. And it made the game a lot more interesting than it really had to be. So yeah. And I think Ace coming down the stretch, or Ace coming back, and when he starts to get those type of minutes, bro, it's going to be, we're not going to have that type of stuff happen. I don't believe. Like I said, it could be wrong. But from what I've seen from Ace last year, and he had his moments too. I'm not saying Ace is just Magic Johnson or Isaiah Thomas or something like that, Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that his type of play, his toughness, coming down the stretch, I don't think we're going to have those type of issues. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, so stat leaders for Saturday's game. Vince had 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists, and a couple blocks, and 5 steals. The guy was everywhere. The guy was everywhere. Levi Stockard had 10.6 rebounds, and he had I think he had like 2 or 3 assists too, and they were really big. And this is one of the reasons I love Stockard's game, or I'm starting to become a super fan of Stockard's game, is because his ability and unselfishness to pass the ball out of the post. There's so many times where he caught it, read the defense, kicked it out, and it was to a wide open shot. And what makes me happy about that is because that's VCU Final Four. That's throw it to Jamie Skeen, let him work. If he don't got nothing, he kicks it back out. We get the ball moving from there. Or we got Brad, come set the screen, popping back. That's either filet or we going back to something else. But either way, kicking it, getting the post touches really helps the offense. And you know how I feel. If we get our offense together, our defense is already elite. We get our offense together, we are going to be come tournament time. Nobody's going to want to see us. Nobody's going to want to see us. They don't want to see us now. We only have defense, like on an elite level, or top 20, top 60 team. Our defense is the only one that's all the way like elite. Our offense is average, but we have the capability. I feel as if we have the capability of playing great team ball and becoming a efficient basketball team, or even just a better, more efficient scoring basketball team. With Levi getting touches and him kicking it out like that. Curry also put in 12 points for VCU. I love Curry. So when he's being aggressive, I love it. I know he picks up a charge every now or almost every other game, but forget it. Continue to do it. We need it. You're the best slasher on the team. Get to the cup. Finish. And for Campbell, they were led by Henderson Jr., who had 20 points and 11 rebounds. He was competing. He is super athletic. It was fun watching him. And Carolero, he's like the most impressive player I've seen us play this year. The point guard from UConn was tough. He was tough, but Carolero, his ability to do everything was so impressive. So my takeaway from the game is we're going to be a really good team, and Campbell is a really good team. And I don't think people really understood what that was coming into this game. I bet people probably thought, it was just Campbell, we should beat them. But no, Campbell's a really good team. And I think they gave us a great prep for Richmond and Davidson, who are very similar in the offenses they run and the defense scheme they try to do as well. I think Richmond and Davidson are going to be a tad bit better, maybe. But as far as like how they ran their offense, I think Campbell is going to be the cleanest. So I'm looking forward to that. And the last thing is I think that VCU plays way too much. We had to stop making games so close. People are going to have heart attacks because they're going to be watching VCU play. And we can fix that. But geez, I said this, every game is going to be exciting. It's going to be one of the most exciting years for VCU basketball because every game is going to be on the edge of your seat, nail biting. And on one hand, I love it. On the other hand, I can't stand it. So starting this thing where I want to do like the low-key player of the game. Of course, you're going to know you're going to have your Vinces and your Levi Stockers and your Currys all the way up at the top, killing stuff. But for the low-key player of the game, first ever, we're going to do Josh Banks. Josh Banks came in and he only had 3 minutes. He only played 3 minutes, but gave us 5 points, which was huge in like a momentum swing. It was like a huge momentum swing when he did that. And once we kind of got there, we kind of started to really take control of the game after that, up until the end, of course. But Josh Banks came in and gave us great energy for those 3 minutes. I'm happy to see that his attitude is still up. That he wants to come in and he wants to contribute. The kid, he's a very nice kid, man. So I don't know what it is, if he has to remember plays or if he has to just defend better or what it is. But I hope he continues to use Saturday's game as a momentum builder, and it snowballs into more playing time for him, because I think the kid is very talented, and when he does get the minutes, he does produce. But whatever it is he needs to do to get more time, he needs to figure it out. So until next time, I love y'all. Oh, before I go, thanks for all the love on Twitter and social media for commenting on my commentary, my play-by-play commentary. I really appreciate the love. Yeah, so I'll be doing it again this Wednesday. So yeah, just check me out. All right. But till next time, much love. Y'all be safe out there. Peace.